Welcome back to the Crusader Coaches Show here on Country 93.1. My name is Matt Chapkus. We are live from Pints and Courts Pub and Grill on Norton Street in Muskegon, home of the Crusader Coaches Show every week. It's going to be every week from 7 to 8 here on Country 93.1, as well as online, country931.com. And I have a special guest joining me right now, a guy who, if you listen to Country 93.1, you're going to recognize the pipes here. This is Mr. John Roberts, Program Director for Country 93.1. John, thanks for joining me.
Sure, how are you?
I'm thrilled to have you here joining me, sir.
Cool.
Now, most people probably don't know it, but you're kind of a behind-the-scenes guy for us. You are actually back at the studio producing the games every week, no matter where we go out on location.
Yeah, I kind of run the games back in the studio so you guys can do what you do at the field. And I was talking on the air today that you and I went for a road trip to Grant yesterday just to check out their field and their great concession building that they have there.
It looks delicious.
So if folks want to head over there, I know Crusaders fans travel well. It's a great field. They welcome visitors over there at Grant. Otherwise, you can always listen here on Country 93.1.
Yes, and you'll be back doing the dirty work for us once again in the studio.
Oh, it's not dirty. I stay absolutely clean. I do. The studio's immaculate.
Now, John, this is your second year working with us through the football. I mean, even though you and I, per se, didn't go to Muskegon Catholic or anything like that, there's something that develops when you listen and follow the progress of these guys every week, and you get attached to it, even though you don't necessarily intend to.
Yeah, it is interesting how that happens. When we decided that we were going to carry the Crusaders' athletic programs on Country 93.1, and I'm like, oh, this should be fun, we'll get to know them. But then you hear the same names every week and the same kids that are out there trying their darndest to score a touchdown, and you get attached to them. I'm even wearing Crusader green today, and that's just something now that I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool feeling.
And through the course of it, we also had some great success last season. Watching this team that started 0-2 much like this year, go all the way to the state semifinals, had a lead in that game after a huge comeback, only to fall short at the end. But the nice thing for you and me is this is a team we can kind of hang our hat on and be proud of at the end of the day. Yeah,
and plus when they're 0-2, we know that they have the team that can come back from that. We know that, it's going to be a long road, but 0-2 is not the end of the season by any means.
No.
And they could pull off 4 or 5 in a row like they did last year.
Yeah.
And we're right on track.
No, and I believe, knock on wood, I believe that could happen again this year without much of a problem.
Just these 4 road games in a row.
Yeah.
That's tough, but they can do it. So.
Yeah, and the road games make interesting things for us where we go out to places like Grant and have to communicate with different schools, and we've even got one where Tri-Unity is hosting the game, but they're not hosting the game, much like Grand Rapids Catholic Central last week.
It's going to be at Grandville Middle School over near Grand Rapids, so that's an interesting dynamic too, but I'm sure we'll make it all work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, we have a lot of fun doing it, but I just wanted to give the people kind of a behind-the-scenes look. When they hear me thank John Roberts at the end of the broadcast, or when they tune in weekdays from 3 to 6, except for Friday when we bump you out for an hour.
Yeah.
But this is the man that everybody's listening to, and we want to thank you for all the fine work you've done and all the help you've given us in helping us bring Crusader football.
It's fun. It's a blast. I'm glad to be part of it. So.
And we're going to be doing this show again every week. You can come and see the legend, John Roberts. He comes out to this show every week with us.
I'll give you $20 for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, here you go.
We want to thank our producer, Jeff Rose, back at the studio. Jeff always deals with something exciting every week, and he did a fine job back there making sure that we were getting out on the air. Again, we want to thank everybody who was our guest, Coach Steve Zerwan and Nate Jones and Nicholas Holt, all joining us here on the show, as well as you, John. This game coming up on Friday will be at Grant. Crusader kickoff show starts at 5, and then Pat and I go on the air at 6:45.
Yep. And, of course, thanks to Pints and Courts for letting us hang out here.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without him.
And dealing with us running around like chickens with our head cut off.
But everything's fine now.
It was a good sideshow tonight. Again, we want to thank all our sponsors, including Pints and Courts. For John Roberts, my name is Matt Chapkus. Thanks for tuning in to the Crusader Coaches Show. Have a good night, and God bless.